We've got paper clips, we've got coloured rice, googly eyes, sprinkles, and even an old key. Not exactly the sort of things you'd normally think of putting into resin jewellery, but over the years I've found it's often the unusual pieces that turn out the most interesting, attract the most attention, and sell the quickest. So today let's see which of these strange little fillers actually deserve a place in resin. With the paper clips, I'm not only putting them in whole like that. What I'm also going to do is, I love these coloured paper clips, is unwind them and do a little spiral with them, wrapping it back on itself like that. I'm not looking for a neat spiral, just something a little bit more interesting. I like the quirkiness of it. So we've got one there, and I think I'll do a red one. I am going to put one of the paper clips in whole. Not sure which one I'm going to put it in, whichever one it fits, really. You can get smaller of these coloured ones as well. So I'm going to be using the Crystal Clear by T-Expert. Great resin. You get loads of it, and it's a brilliant price. I'll link it in the description below, along with everything else I use. So 1-to-1 resin, and it's so easy to mix up. I think the reason that unusual fillers work so well is because people look at them differently. With glitter or flowers, you sort of know what you're going to get. But with things like this, there's that little moment of, hang on, what is that? And that's what usually makes someone pick a piece up and have a look at it. Also, there seems to be a real trend at the moment, and you see it on television and all sorts of places, of people wearing very unusual necklaces and brooches and earrings that are made out of lots of different materials. People don't want the norm all the time, so it's good to have a change. So just giving this a final mix up, and then I will degas it before I do anything else to it. So I've degassed that now, and it's lovely and clear. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pour over the top of these paper clips quite slowly, trying not to trap any additional bubbles. I think the paper clips could actually look quite stylish if I don't overdo them. I want to leave a bit of space because I'm going to put a backing on these as well, and I want to do that while they're in the mould once they've cured up. I think if they're arranged neatly, like they are, even though they're quirky, they're going to look quite modern and not just like office supplies. Well, I hope, anyway. Oh, look, I've got something in there contaminating my mould already. So again, all I'm going to do is pour that on and leave a bit of a gap at the top. I think this is going to be the one for the eyes. Now, what I'm doing for the eyes is they've got a paper back on them, which is actually sticky. So if you pull that plastic off, they're sticky underneath, and you can stick them on. But I'm not going to do that. All I'm doing is putting them on like this and leaving that sticky in there. Remember, we're working in reverse because the bottom of this mould is what's going to be the front. I love googly eyes. I go around the house and put googly eyes on things all the time. And this is probably the daftest one that I'm making. But I can also see this getting a lot of attention. And that's what the sort of things you need to do. Especially if you're at a craft fair or somewhere like that. You need to draw attention to your stuff as much as you can. You need a reason for people to come over and look at what you've got. Spread those out a little bit. I don't want to overload it and put too many in. There we go, that'll do. So I don't know if they'll make beautiful jewellery, but they'll definitely be eye-catching. So for the coloured rice, and if you want to know how I colour the rice, then I've already got a video out showing you how to do that. So check that one out. I'll link it at the end of this video for you. It's a great video, and it shows how you can get some really good effects with coloured rice. So all I'm doing is putting a little bit in there like that, and then pouring some resin in. And the one that I'm going to fill up with this, I think I'm going to use this one. I'm also going to put a bit of resin on the base as well. That's to ensure that you don't get any rice bits that are actually sticking through the surface. And all I'm going to do is mix that in. Make sure that's all the way around everywhere. And the coloured rice is interesting because it already has a texture to it. It might end up looking like tiny stones or crushed glass, or it might just look like I've put rice in a pendant, but that's fine too. And I think the resin really does lift up the look of the coloured rice. I want to make sure I've got plenty in there. Now this will release quite a few bubbles, this coloured rice, because you'll have mixed in bubbles with it. You always do when you put inclusions like this in there. But it's good to try different things in it. And I want to make sure that that's all nice and flat, and there's a good layer in there as well. Yep, there we go. And the same thing for the coloured sparkles. Now, I don't know if these coloured sparkles, food colouring's going to come off these or not. But I want to try and keep them in as... No, I am going to mix a little bit of resin in with them. If the colour comes off, then I'll do it a different way. I'm going to gently give those a mix round, and then I'm going to pour them on top here, like that, fill that out. And I think the sprinkles are the ones that look the prettiest before they go in, but that doesn't mean they're still going to look the prettiest when it's cured, because we know that resin can change the way things look, and it can react differently with things. If they hold their colour and don't bleed everywhere, I think it'd be really fun. I'm not sure what colour backing to put on this one either. Hopefully they're not going to lose their sharpness of shape either by reacting. They shouldn't, but by reacting with the resin. I might not put a backing on that one. I might just leave it as it is. I'll make sure that no bits are sticking out in case I do decide not to put a backing on it, because that way then it will be nice and smooth. Yeah, I quite like that. And the key's going in there. I'll pop a bit of resin in. And this would be great for someone's 21st birthday. You could make a little key ring for them. And even have their name in it, or 21st birthday, or something similar to that. I've decided I am going to put a few more of these googly eyes in this. They've moved around a little bit, and it's made me realise there's plenty of space in there. So I'm going to fill it up a bit more. Actually, I'm quite surprised how many of these I can fit in here. There we go. So that's filled those up. I think that's going to look a lot better. Look how many googly eyes I've got. So I'm going to quickly go over this now and just remove any bubbles if there's any that have come up. There will be on this rice and on this sprinkles. That won't take long to get rid of those. And now we can leave those to cure up. Then I'll look at what backings I'm going to use on them. Well, these have been curing for about 2 hours now, and they should be thick enough for me to be able to put my backing colour on. It is sticky, but it shouldn't mix in. So I've got my resin mixed up, and I'm not going to need much for each one. I'm using the little mixing jugs that come from my new resin toolkit. There still should be a few left. It is packed with things, and it's also packed with one of these really large mats that have got my logo and name on. It's great value. I'll link in the description below. Be sure to check it out. So I'm using a variety of different things here. I'm using some white mica powder, which is going to be for the paper clips. I'm going to make sure I give that a really good mix in. I think the iridescence of the mica powder is going to look good on these. Pour that on there now. I don't mind even if it does blend in with the background a little bit. It's far too thick to get down to the bottom of the inclusions, so that isn't going to happen. I don't mind if it blends a little bit. That's absolutely fine. So the one with the sprinkles in, I said I was going to leave as it is. I'm now going to I thought I'd put blue chameleon flakes behind the key. I'm not going to spread them on. I'm mixing them in with the resin. I don't do that very often, but it does give a nice effect. And then I thought I'd do blue, just blue mica powder behind the eyes, behind the googly eyes, and then gold behind the gold rice. Go over them with a long neck lighter. Oh look, one of them's floated to the top. That couldn't have been as set as I thought it was then. We'll push that down and hope it don't ruin it. It does, it does. Oh, they're all floating up now. Maybe I should have let that one set up a little bit more. Well, it's too late now. We'll have to see what it comes out like. Well, these have all cured up, and as you can see, this one didn't work out. I put the resin on the top of this, really, before that had gelled up enough, and all these just floated up. But I made another one, so we can have a look at that. So let's have a look at this one first. That has actually come out really, really pretty. Colour has certainly sunk down into that. I should have waited maybe another hour before I put that on. I thought it was gelled enough, but obviously it wasn't. So let's hope it hasn't ruined all these other ones. No, it hasn't ruined that one, and that one's come out really well. See, it's just very different, and they do attract attention. And at this point, I'm not looking for the neatest one. I'm looking for the one that makes me want to pick it up and look at it closer and draw people to what I'm making. I love the gold rice. There's just something about adding rice to resin that is really floating my boat at the moment. That has come out so well and so nicely textured as well. This is the other paper clip one. See, quirky, but attractive. Sprinkles, and they've come out much better than I thought. They haven't bled at all. You really can see each one of the colours in there, and it didn't need a backing. Definitely not. Oh, beautiful crystal. And beautiful and crystal clear and sparkly that resin is. And this is the key. Again, that fits in there nicely. It's really given a good effect. And I like the semi-translucent feel of those chameleon flakes that are in there. So let's look at a googly eye one. That is creepy. And the eyes move around, obviously, because they're still encapsulated in there. I actually really like that. And that is definitely going to draw attention for people. So this is what I mean about unusual fillers. They don't always give you the safest result, but they do give you something people are going to remember. For me, the best one is this one. I think that makes you look twice at what that one is. That's usually the piece that people pick up first because they are trying to work out what's inside it. And that's why I think unusual fillers can be so much more interesting than the safe, obvious ones. They create a little conversation before someone even picks up the piece. Let me know which one you think you'd wear and which strange filler you think I should try next in the comments below. Be sure to check out the video I've got coming up next if you want to learn more about using UV resin. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.